Well, hello everyone, and welcome again to Painless Universal, a conversation with myself and Welsh. Today's conversation is really one of overcoming pain to find your joy. Have you been diagnosed, or has someone you love been diagnosed with a long-term condition which has left you looking after this person, beautiful loved one, for the rest of your life? How do you overcome that pain of learning such a horrific thing is going to happen to your child, and how do you find your joy? Not only to love that child for the rest of your life, but to give that child the help they deserve to flourish in a world like this. My guest, Latisha Mays, did just that. So let me tell you a little bit about her. She's a mother of three, and her daughter has special needs. She's first, as she always describes herself, a woman of God, then a nurse, special needs mom, a content creator, and a traumatic brain injury survivor. Before obtaining her brain injury, she was a fitness instructor and a Zumba instructor as well. 8 years ago, she had a daughter, Camy. The doctor had told her that when she was the age of 3 months old, that she would never walk or talk. Imagine hearing that from the doctor. When you've just had your baby, when she's about 3 months old, they've discovered that your daughter might never walk or talk. She didn't take that diagnosis just lying down. She did things to act on it. Since then, she made it her mission to prove that God had the last say and that the doctors were wrong. Her daughter now walks. Her brain injury came almost 2 years ago, which was just another hurdle for her to climb. But she utilized that hurdle to better herself and better understand what her daughter was truly going through. Meet my wonderful guest, Leticia, as she shares her story. Well, hello everyone, and welcome again to Painless Universal, conversation with myself and Welsh. Today's conversation is one of discovering who you truly are when obstacles come your way. How do you find your joy again and keep living, and not just living for the people around you to your best ability? My guest, Leticia, she'll be telling us about her own story. She's a woman of God. She's a nurse, a mother of three with the youngest, a special needs daughter, and herself recovering from a recent brain injury. We'll be talking about all that, but most importantly, how she's found her joy. Hi, how are you? Wonderful futures you've got there. How are you doing?
I am great. I'm awesome. I am awesome. I feel so great today. Today is a beautiful day.
Awesome day. I'm really glad. Well, where are you joining me from?
I'm joining you from North Augusta, South Carolina. This is where I was born and raised. I've been here for 40 years. I left a couple of years to go to college, but actually here at home. I live in a house where my dad was born and raised as well.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's wonderful. Now, your story, anyone who reads your story will be truly inspired by your journey and how you've overcome certain challenges in your life. Before we get started, who are you, Latisha Mays?
I am Latisha Mays. You've already stated that I'm a mother of three, but first of all, I am a woman of God. I love God. Everything I do is based on God, and He gives me hope. So I'm a woman full of hope and joy, and I love to love. I'm just a loving woman. I remember waking up at the age of 4 and just waking up and just feeling like loving the world and just remembering peace and happiness. So I am a woman that just love, and I was blessed with beautiful kids. I never wanted kids, and I had kids, so I'm a mother now. And I'm just a woman with beautiful kids that want to raise them to be wonderful people in the society. And I've had challenges that have come along with that. So yes, I'm a nurse, and I wanted to be a nurse since I was 3 because I felt like that would help me get closer to helping people and helping them feel the way that I feel about life and love and God, and just spreading God's word. And in the midst of it all, a lot of things happened while I was a nurse. I received a brain injury, And even while I was a nurse, I was pregnant with my daughter who ended up being special needs. So a lot of things came along with just me trying to be a loving person. I had a lot that happened to me in the midst of it, but I definitely turned all of that pain into joy every day, every day. I'm a woman of hope.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is one thing I think this is one thing anyone who reads your story would definitely find you fascinating, is that you're a woman of hope. You're not a woman who sits there and let the whole world attack you and defeat you, whatever life choice that you try. You really do know how to make these lemonades, and it's something I'm so inspired to talk to you about. When you look at your childhood growing up, what was it truly like as a child growing up in your home?
Childhood growing up in my home, it was me and my mom and my brother for a while. Um, so for about 8 years. And after that, my dad came and all of us were together. I had my mom and my dad. Beautiful couple. Beautiful couple. They went through things, and once they began to go to church, and they got closer to God and started going to like marriage retreats and things like that, I began to see them flourish. But in the beginning, it wasn't that good. But I seen my parents go to church and begin to flourish, and my family began to flourish. And they started instilling in me the things that they were learning in church. So in my house, we were just taught to love each other and to love God and treat people how they want to be treated. Treat people how you want to be treated, and to do right. Right plus right equals right. So in my household, that's what it was. We always just had to do right. And I'm not even allowed to say lie in my house. We weren't allowed to say the word lie. We have to say tell a story, because my mom raised us on not telling stories. We weren't allowed to do that. So that's how my household, we were basically raised on very family oriented. Oh, I love my family. I have about 8 aunties, 4 uncles. So, and back then, all of the aunties had to get together and cook. It wasn't like these days. Everybody had to get together to eat. Every auntie would bring in a plate, and all of us would get together and eat as a family. And we thrive off of love. Just love in itself, not material things, anything, just love and eating, being together. So that's how it was in my household as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. So your daughter, you just mentioned your daughter. One of your joys is your last baby, and you said she has special needs. Can you just tell us a little bit about the journey to now, on how you discovered this and how you manage it?
Camy. Her name is Camy. She's 8 years old. She'll be 9 this year. At the age of 3 months, I breastfed all of my kids. So I have a 18-year-old son, and I have a 13-year-old daughter. So they're both on the average, as they say, spectrum. So I had the advantage of having 2 average kids. So when I breastfed them, they would look directly in my eyes, and I had more communication. But once I had Kamari, I would breastfeed her, and she would never look me in my eyes. And I didn't have a connection with her. And I was wondering, so I would go to the doctor and say, something's wrong. She's not looking me in my eyes. She's not wanting me. And I was saying, something's wrong. And he would say, no, babies, their muscles don't connect until about 3 months. So once she got 3 months, I said, oh no, there's something wrong. And so then I had to take matters into my own hand and just kind of do research and find programs that would help me figure out what was wrong with my baby. So I actually had an auntie that worked in neurology. So she got me into a neurologist to get a brain scan of my baby. And I found out that she had cerebral vermis hyperplasia. And that comes with a lot of things. And at that point, they told me she would not walk or talk.
Wow.
That day. Yes. So that day they told me that, and I came home with this little baby by myself, and I was devastated. Because I had to go to nursing school, and anybody that's a nurse knows that is a hard thing. Like, you have to put your whole life aside just to be a nurse. And I had accomplished that goal. And right after that, I had a baby that I was told would do nothing. And I brought her home, and I looked at her, and I was like, what do I do with it? I said it. I didn't even say a girl or boy. I didn't call her name. And all I did was pray. I prayed and said, I know there's no way a baby could just be here and just be here. There has to be some greatness in this baby, you know, because I'm just a woman that just, anything I do, I just put 100% in it. So I was looking at her and I just looked and I just fell to my knees and I prayed and I said, Lord, just help me do whatever it is that I need to do to help this child. The first thing he told me to do is say, don't ever call this child an it again. And so I did. And from that day forward, I prayed and I worked with that baby. And I did. And I just did not believe that she would never walk or talk. I just never felt that in my spirit. I never did. Never did. From that day forward, when I brought her home, she, you know, she had like the hands that go like this. And, you know, I never allowed her to do that. Every night I would just massage her wrist, pull them back and say, baby, people don't hold their hands like this with you. You're not going to hold your hands like this. And I would talk to her and just pray for her wrist and bring her back. And then I jumped into mother mode and I found therapists and I found everything that was available for her. Everything, because it's a lot of things out there available for special needs kids. And they won't tell you unless you're interested. They're not just, you have a special needs kid, you can just bring them home. If you decide to leave your child in that carriage and be special needs involved up, they will let you do that. But I was just determined, and but God, there was no way I could do that. So I jumped right into all of the resources, physical therapy, occupational therapy. And as life continued, I learned about other therapies like hydrotherapy, which is water therapy, and just anything that I could do to help her.
When
I
you
did it.
felt it, your family and yourself, you had she had other siblings. How was it when she had to fit into the other family?
Wow, that's a good question. Yes. That in itself, so the pain, there goes the pain. You brought up the pain. So I told you guys that we have a huge family and we've been so blessed that we were exempt from so many things. So we have 8 aunties and 4 uncles, you know, they had babies, had babies. So I have about 27, maybe more cousins, 37 first cousins who had babies. And I was one of the first girls after my grandma passed away. So that's where I get Corrine from. I'm named after my grandmother. So I was one of the first girls. So I raised all of their babies. And everybody was fine. We don't have any special needs kids in our family. Kamari's the first. She's the first. So it was really hard for me going to Christmas gatherings. We all get together on Christmas, and she was 1 year old, and she still looked like she just came out of me. She was real small, and I could actually see my family staring and whispering, wanting to come and talk to me and say something's wrong, you know, but not coming to me and saying that. And we were a very close-knit family, but I did have some aunties that were very close to me that came to me and said, something's wrong, you know? And so once they seen me get a grasp of it and just kind of not really accept it, because I don't know what they saw, but everybody kicked in and went in overdrive. The entire family, the babies, the little kids, and everybody was determined to make this baby walk. Everybody. It's like we went in overdrive. And that's another thing that really helped me was my family support. The aunties, the little cousins, you would see them out there, you know, trying, you know, they'll come in and try to make her crawl and just move her limbs. So she is the first special needs baby in my entire family. So that was very, very hard for them and me, because they felt bad for me because I'm the prodigy child. I'm Corrine. I'm grandmother's, you know, I'm named after the grandmother. Yeah. So I was like shine of the family, you know, and it's still like that to this day. It really is. They really look up to me. And then it's not the curse, it's just the thing that we were exempt. Yes.
Because sometimes we all think that we exempt from it, because especially when life is so flourish, it's going well, we all live, we're perfect, then all of a sudden there's a baby that comes by that's here to give us a big blessing, bring us even more together, and also test our faith, because sometimes we say we're close, but how close are we truly? I always ask myself, how close are we really close? And to life throws you in the deep well. then you really know how close you are as a family, how well you stick together, how well you fight the obstacles that life will put in you. And I'm so glad with that answer when you said that, you know, the family came together and the family worked hard to really make it work. On that note, when you look at her recovery today, you know, because I saw some Instagram pictures of her and YouTube video as well. Why did you decide that this is a special child that the world needs to know about, not just about her, but about her recovery? Because that helps so many people. Anyone who's going through something similar will say to themselves, my goodness, look, if she can do it, I can. Why did you
Yeah.
decide on that?
I decided that because when I reached out to try to find somebody like me, I couldn't find it. It was not in anywhere in my area, anywhere I could reach on the internet. What she had was in cats and dogs, and I couldn't find anybody going through what I was going through. So I made it a mission of mine to let everybody know that in my situation, you know, I just wanted to, if anybody else left the doctor's office and came home, I wanted them to be able to and look and find, if it's just me, to somebody that they can relate to what was going on. So that, I mean, that was my mission, and I'm still on that mission. I want to let every mother know that that God has the last say, not the doctors, you know, and you don't let a doctor tell you who or what your child is going to be. Yeah. Because if I did that, then everybody would have seen Camy walk out of that van the last couple of months or so. And if I did that, the quality of life that Camy have, it would not be like that. She would still be balled up, sitting in a chair. And I mean, I just want to help other mothers, and I just want to give them the same joy and tell them that there is joy in it. These are special kids, you know, and I feel like I am special because I was chosen to be her mother. And I want to tell other mothers, you just as special as the baby. Absolutely. You are just as special as the baby. Because if God chose you to have that special baby, you special. You are not common. You're not a common person. You're uncommon. So you're special.
So when you look at your daughter's routine, what's a typical routine like for her?
Firstly, there isn't a day that is exactly the same ever. Like never ever have I had the same day with her. Her routine is she wakes up in the morning, and one thing that's with her condition is that she's still, you know how you bring a newborn home and they're off schedule and you get baggy eyes and you're tired because they don't sleep right. Yeah. She's 8 years old and we still do that. So that is something that the doctors did say. They were right about that she would always sleep kind of like a newborn. Her circadian rhythm would be off. And so that is true. But I have it where I just wear her out and try to get her down maybe at 9 so that she'll wake up. But just here recently, because of my injury, I was out for a while, I was out for a while. And so I had to get a nurse to come in. I have a nurse that come in now. So we have her on schedule. And she'll get up around 9. I don't have her in school because of COVID. She's virtual school. She'll get up around 9. She walks to that potty. She uses her potty. She has a stander that she gets in every day. She gets in her stander. She has her breakfast while she's in the stander. We work in her hands. She get out of the stander. She watches TV. She wants her iPad all day long. I put it on top of the refrigerator. I have to train her that you can't get it all day. She doesn't get it until 3 o'clock every day, but she knows exactly when 3 o'clock hits. She's nonverbal, but she takes me to the kitchen and she shows me iPad. She's in virtual school, which I'm her teacher in virtual school, and we speak with a teacher for 15 minutes. And we do school every day. She has her own little special scissors, and I had to put a gate on my kitchen because she walks in the kitchen, she tears everything out of the refrigerator, and she climbs in the laundry room, and she's just defeating all type of odds every day. So I can't tell you an exact routine because every day is.
Except the iPad one. I think the iPad one is quite consistent. It's at 3 o'clock every day. And she knows that routine, and mommy's not going to take that away from her.
Now that's routine. She loves her iPad. She does. And if anybody watch the YouTube page, like I'm telling you, like everybody comments like, that is her best friend. That is literally her best friend. She'll pop me. She popped about her iPad. So she does. She's very intelligent. She is.
Leticia, when I ask, you see lots of women out there complaining, myself included. I have 2 kids, and I remember this weekend I was so tired, and I said, I can't do this. This is so tiring. The kids are so extremely demanding. I mean, and I look at you. You have three beautiful kids, and your little one is adorable, but takes a lot of your energy, your strength. How do you find it in you to keep going?
I pray. I pray without cease. I wake up and I'm praying. I'm walking around and I'm praying. And I take good care of myself. I eat right. I make sure I get me a little exercise in. But my strength comes from God, and that's just who I am, and that's my belief. He gives me strength like no other. He does. Because I was down. I got knocked out and I could not walk, talk, wash myself or anything just almost 2 years ago. And I just told God, I need to get up for my kids, especially Camy. Help me up, Lord, please. And I prayed. I got up, and every day I pray and I say, you need to get up and help your baby. Get up. And I get up. I get up. And I tell you, even as a mother with just typical kids, like, get up. You can get up and do it. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You can get up and do it. Even when you're tired, do it. I'm telling you, I'll be tired. I'm tired now, you can't tell, but I'm tired. But I just find so much joy in being able to just have a new day each day to even do anything. So if I wake up, I'm happy because it's another day to explore whatever's going to go on in this day. So even when I don't feel like fixing dinner, I fix it. I like to see my kids eating, and I just like to get up and find the joy in just having another breath for the next day. You made it to the next day. Enjoy your kids. Get up. And my main thing is with my family, I say GOGETIT. And I started that with my kids when they were going to school one day. I would say, y'all, GOGETIT. And I said it for a long time, and they never asked me what it was. I said, I'm going to keep saying it until they realize I'm saying, go get it. So I said, GOGETIT. And they thought I was being funny because I'm just energetic like that. I'm probably them more than they aggravate me. But I said, GOGETIT. And finally, one day they said, Mom was saying, go get it. And just go get it. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You put your mind to it, you can do it. And that's what I do. I find that type of strength. And kids are they're innocent. You got to train them in the way that they should go. So if I'm lazy, they're going to be lazy. If I'm down, they're going to be down. So it's just to get up. It's to get up, and it's the God in me.
That is phenomenal. You've said you love reading the Bible, singing, laughing, dancing, working out, and just being happy. I love my family, but most of all, I love God. Has this mindset of hope and faith helped you in your own challenge of dealing with your recent brain trauma?
Yes, it has, because the thing that a brain injury does is mess with your mind. That's the first thing that it does. It's your brain. It does so many things. And thank you, Lord, that I'm a nurse, because I had the knowledge of that, and I'm a mental health nurse. I was a mental health nurse for 9 years. I was on the unit, and I got knocked out. So prior to me dealing with mental health issues, because that's what happened after my brain injury, it messed with me mentally. I dealt with mental patients. So once I pretty much not turned into a patient, but got into mental issues, it was in my head. I went into the dark. When with a concussion, you can't be in lights. You have to be in the dark until your mind clicks back right. You get light sensitivity and everything. So I was in a very, very dark place. And it was very, like, all of the things I was ever scared of, like Freddy Krueger and It the Clown, and snakes and dogs, they all approach you. Everything you're afraid of attacks you at one time. But me being a woman of God, he covered me. I just said, I prayed, and in the dark time, I just knew that God was the light and is the light, the truth, the way, and the light. He is the I am. And I just would pray and say, protect me. And I could see them around me because I couldn't see anything but darkness. And he just covered me. And I found strength in knowing that he is the I am. And I said, I know you have me because you're light. And he covered me. My brain would just be so hurt. I would spin. I still spin to this day. I'm spinning now, but I know how to handle these symptoms. But he just gave me so much strength and just mind. And that's why I want to talk to concussion people too, because if you sit and you dwell in the darkness, you're going to be in the dark. So you have to be in the dark, but you can't stay in the dark. And you can just, I prayed my way out of it. I prayed my way out of it.
Wow, you're so phenomenal. But what truly happened? What led you on this path to the brain problem?
To the praying?
To the brain. What happened to you?
While I was on the unit one day, it was a Monday when all of the doctors and everybody out there on Monday. And it was a big riot on the unit because the facility I worked in was you have the lock in and lock out. Mental health is an acute unit. So, the people that maybe run down the street, the very severely mental ill people, they come straight to us before they go anywhere. So we would have to get them right. So I was working the whole weekend with this guy, and he was comfortable with me and everything was fine. And something was going on the unit, and he sucker punched me. So there was no reason for him to punch me. When we watched the tape, everybody was like, this punch came out of nowhere. So since I had a sucker punch, I wasn't able to brace myself because I didn't see it coming. If you see a punch coming, you brace yourself and your brain says, we're about to get punched, right? Yeah. And your brain will stop. But since it was a sucker punch, my brain hit my skull when he hit me. And he was a mental patient, so he just heard a lot going on. He just felt afraid because he was with me for about 3 days, so he knew I wasn't going to hurt him, but he just heard a lot going on. It's called a boxer's punch. That's what I have. But it was a sucker punch, so my brain hit the side of my head, and I did not write out because I was raised with boys. I just remember hearing the bottom of a bucket spinning around, and I looked and said, I think I'm gonna go to sleep. And I went to sleep for 10 minutes, and I woke up in a different world, and I still live in that world, but I contain it, and I haven't been able to nurse since then, but God has given me all sorts of different kind of talents, like creating everything that's created on anything that I do. I learned since I was knocked out and woke up. I woke up with new abilities. I can draw. Yeah, I can do photography. I can edit like no other. I'm an awesome editor and all of that. So it's amazing.
This is really fabulous because you've taken on this feeling of hopelessness, which a lot of people will feel, into immediately taking on that challenge of not giving up. How did you do this?
I guess that's just been, I just can't give up. I just can't give up. That's that thing about waking up every day, you get another chance. Every day is another chance. Every day I wake up, I say it's another day's journey. And let's just do this. Guide me, Lord, help me. And it's another day's journey. No matter your situation, you said hopelessness. A lot of people deal with hopelessness. Hopelessness will bring you down, And so that's why you got to take the lessness out of the hopelessness and find that hope, and it'll lift you up. You take every negative thing and make it positive. Another thing I tell my kids when they walk out the door, reject negativity and pull in positivity. I tell them that every day because hopelessness is negative. It's negative. That's all. If you think, if every negative thought you have, turn it into positive. And then that's just what I did. And I'm telling you, I had about 7 billion negative thoughts. I'm telling you, and people get to see my journey because I am sick. I have recorded the entire journey, but it's hard for me to get it out. But I went through some things because what you see today is beautiful, and you know how it is. But I had a robe on for months and a scarf on my head for months, and because I dealt with hopelessness. Yeah. And I said, oh no, this is not me. So I had to take the lessness off and just have hope. Hope.
And anyone who's going through that difficult phase right now might be dealing with their own chronic illness, dealing with their baby chronic illness, or it might be something just all of a sudden happens to you and you lose everything and you have to regain different talent, different strengths. What advice would you give to somebody right now?
I would just tell them to just be strong. And, peace is still. Peace can be very, very still. And something's going to happen to all of us. You know, right now we're just missed on earth. It's how I feel. And we are not, nobody's exempt from anything. So something's going to happen to all of us. So that reflects back to the negative things. You know, you just have to take it and grasp it and just say, I can do this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. No matter what it is, a special needs baby, a bus tire, a death in the family, anything, a cancer, a bust eye, hair loss, teeth loss, anything you can do, no matter what it is. And this just who I am, everybody. It's just who I am. I just feel you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. This is how I get my strength. This is how I turn my pain into joy. It's by surrendering to God and allowing Him to guide my life and help me to deal with those millions of hopelessness thoughts and those negative thoughts that occur, because we're humans and we have human hearts. But you can have hope. You can have all things. Just put your mind to it and you can do it. I would say, if something's going bad, just think of the greatness in it, that you're here to be, you're even here to even handle or have this situation, you know?
If you could change anything when you look back at your life, is there anything you would change?
Nothing.
I love that.
I love it. I wouldn't even change much, because I didn't tell you that even before I got punched, I used to pray because I wanted to know what Camy felt. I wanted to know what my baby felt. I prayed for that. I got what I asked for. So be careful what you pray for. Be specific now, because I prayed to know what was going on in my baby. I was like, what is she feeling? And then now we take the same therapy. I know how I feel to be dizzy. I know how I feel to take the certain medicine that she took. I took a medicine that she took. It took my vision away. I took her off that medicine. It took me off that medicine. I go to OT. I go to PT, physical therapy. She go to physical therapy. I wake up some mornings and I can't balance. That's her making that noise. I'm sorry. I go to and I can't balance, and I go to PT and I start yarning. I was wondering why she was like all the time. Because she gets tired, your brain gets tired after so much exertion. So now I respect her when she leave PT. I let her relax. I like some candles, play some music, because I know that's what I want. But I asked for that. I did. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change Kamari. You know, at first I was a little confused because I wanted to be a nurse, but now God let me be a nurse so I can know all this stuff that, you know, we go to a lot of doctors. And they just talk in front of me. They don't even know I know all the terms. And I don't tell them. I just listen. So I wouldn't change.
Finally, before I let you go, there's something about your personality really that really glows, that allows, and yet you share joy with everyone. Even myself, just listening to you, I feel so happy. I feel like I've learned something definitive about you. How do you find it in you to be so joyful, and how can you help others to live this life, to be so joyful and so free?
I just love God. I love him. He gives me so much peace. He gives me so much peace, because this story that I'm telling y'all, this just a little mirror bit of what I've gone through in my life. And I had to take all of the bondages, everything that I've been through, from a little girl all the way up to today. I had to take it and just surrender and give it to God. And then he made peace still for me. So that's the glow that you see. You see the glow of God because I asked for it. I said, let your light shine off of me. I can't be perfect like you. I'm not perfect, y'all. I like wine. I like to drink. I cuss every now and then. I'm like, oh, don't cuss. But you know, sometimes a little cuss word to come out. But I asked God, I said, I can't be just like you, but I can be as close to you as you'll let me. And I am as close as I can be, and I'm going to continue to do that. And I asked him, when I walk in a room, I want my energy to show that I have him in me. I pray without cease. I do. And it works. It feels so good. I don't have anything that worries me. Nothing. It don't, because you can't worry. You can't say, God, I surrender, and then worry. No. You can't do that. And I do not. Something can happen right now and I'll be like, but God. So that's why y'all hear me say, but God. And that's where my strength comes from. Everything I have comes from God. That's all I've ever known. And I've been through some things, and still yet I've always remember him being there and me always having that. I used to think I was crazy. I was like, am I crazy? Am I different? Like, why do I feel so different? But I just love the Lord. I just do. He's my strength. He's my source. And that's my source. That's my medicine. And if you like how I look, how I feel, my glow, and how I make you feel, get you some God, get you a Bible, get you some word, and just, pray without cease. Seriously. Seriously.
Well, Leticia,
Yes.
I really applaud. I'm so grateful we took this time to talk because I've learned so much. I've learned something about surrender and find peace. Leave it to God and find your peace. Let him believe that he's taking care of that matter, that he's doing it for you. And I think this is a beautiful way to end this. Thank you so much for all your talk, for your beautiful daughter, for your wonderful family, everyone in your life, that's really actively helping you to find your joy. I really wish them well. Thank you so much for this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had a great time.
Thank you.